Welcome to another episode of podcast. Episode 33. How are we feeling?
Feel pretty grand.
You know,
Like a grand piano.
like
You know?
you feel like a whole piano.
A grand piano, specifically.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Big grandfather clock.
Like from Stranger Things.
No.
Oh, okay.
From grandma's house. The fuck? You're sleeping and I say that. My grandma does not have a grandfather clock. I want to be
My grandparents had like clocks, so they had really grandparenty clocks. Does that make sense?
Yes, my grandma had one that has one that she needle pointed. Like, so it's a picture of a clock, but the hands move.
Oh.
It's actually pretty cool.
That's cool.
But very grandma.
That is very grandma. Okay, what had my episode? Is that it? Oh, that's not. That's my episode, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, all right. So you have a spiel.
Oh boy. So class of almost 30 now. Wow. Hey guys. I hope attendance is good. Are we being tardy? Oh my gosh. This is one of those public school classrooms. They just keep putting kids in it even though they don't fit. Wow. This feels magical. So I learned something about myself that you guys all probably already know from listening to the pod. Turns out I am kind of I don't know how to say it. I'll say a actually girly. So if someoe's talking and they say something or they and I've got to jump in and I have to hit them with the well actually that's not it. It's this. And I didn't know this about myself. A coworker was kind enough to point this out to me. Now you would think I would know in the multiple decades that I have been living. But alas, I was unaware of this little tidbit, and now I notice it every time I do it. It's funny. I tell you what, it is really, really funny to notice when someone says something. I go, actually, and then I hear it, and then I hear myself back at me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there she is. Oh my gosh, get your radar up. The grammar police are coming. And it's just this new.
Okay, so I just want to clarify, when we were talking about this off, not recording, I was really confused because you said it 3 times. You're like, oh, I'm going to bring up I'm a actually girly. And I was really confused because I feel like I knew what that meant, but I was like, I don't want to ask because I feel like you're going to explain on the pod, so I'll just wait till I'm
I don't want to ask because I feel like you're going to be like, actually, girly.
I didn't know what it meant. I was like, oh, it's okay. I'll get the whole spiel, and when we record. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. You know how when I listened, sorry, this is a side note. When I listened to other podcasts and they talk about how they're like, oh, I feel like I need to save it, for content.
Yeah, they're like, I didn't talk to them about it,
because, and I was like, well, we just yap all the time.
I about it again.
So I feel like there's no point of us where we're like, oh, we had talked about this 3 days prior, but we were like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna deep dive about it on the pod. We'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, anyway, continue. So you're a actually girly. So this was brought up to you recently, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've always known I'm a nerd. Shocker. I'm I don't know. I like to learn. I'm very academically motivated and inclined. Sure. And I try. And here's the thing. The actually isn't to be like, you're fucking stupid. I want to be clear. That's not the actually that I do, which is probably why I didn't recognize it. It's because I really like to inform people of stuff. And if they're wrong, I want to correct them, not because I want to be like, haha, you're wrong and you're fucking stupid, but because I want to be like, no, it's this, in an exciting, let's learn together way, which is some nerdy nonsense, but it's true where I'm like, oh, well, actually, and I get really excited to tell them what it actually is. Because they don't know. And they should know. And then we can both know. And the world can be a more intelligible place. But yeah, no, a coworker pointed this little tidbit out to me recently. And I hear it every time I do it, which is often. Very, very often that I jump in. Correct grammar is another one. I knew that about myself. I've always been a grammar police, though. That wasn't news. But lots of actually, well, like Oscar from The Office. Well, actually,
sorry, when you say Oscar, I think of Oscar the
trash can
from Sesame Street.
Yeah,
the trash can.
Trash can, but Oscar the Frog.
He was the best one, and I will die on that hill.
Wow, hot take. Breaking news.
I know, it's a hot take. He's my favorite. My mom was like, why do you like him? He lives in a trash can. I was like, he's so cool. Okay, this just goes back. Someone had brought this up to me recently. Sorry, this is just going back to my tangent.
Oh, absolutely. I have no more corrections to make.
So, I feel you never will. I mean, you might have, and I trauma blocked it.
Well, again, I don't do it in like a you're a fucking idiot way. I do it in a like, oh, this is exciting. Let's learn something new together.
I feel like we talked too much because I would have remembered if you had done it. Okay, so my friend had brought it up to me. So this was like a few months ago, and I had this New Year's resolution where I was like, I'm not gonna buy new clothes to not increase my load, to go towards the environment, to not waste. Like I was like, I don't need. So about 2 months ago, I was out with someone and we went to this place, and next to it was this clothing store. My friend was like, let's go there, and I was like, okay, let me go there. And they had these shoes, and they were green. Ooh. And I was like, oh, I don't need shoes. And I looked at them, and they were like $35. But they were like completely new, and they were Reeboks, which are relatively like $70, $80, $90. So I was like, oh. So we walked around the store, I thought about it. And I kept looking at them, like eyeing them, like they were my long lost loves. Like, you know that scene in Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio? And he's eyeing at her through the fish tank? That was me.
Sure.
Do you know the reference I'm making? Where they are like, they're like, they have the guns instead of the swords, and he's like, where art thou? But he's doing it in like a rap.
Yeah, it's the one that we had to watch for English class.
Yes.
It was like the quote unquote modern take on,
which I was really confused, but yeah, it was like,
it was fun, sort of.
It was fun, yeah.
But I hate Romeo and Juliet though. That's my hot take. I fucking hate it. So period. The adaptation didn't upset me because I hate the original. I want to say hate like, as much like.
Do you not like Shakespeare?
Oh no, I'm fine with Shakespeare. Everyone's like, they killed themselves for each other in their love. That's so romantic. I think it's a cautionary tale about not being a stupid teenager and not being a fucking idiot and being like, I'm in love with you. Oh my gosh, I can't be with you. I've known you for like 3 seconds. I'm gonna kill myself. What? And then she's like, you're dead. I should too kill myself. No. What's wrong with you? Go home. Do your homework. God. It's so romantic. The children die because they're dumb. Or, I guess, okay, dumb's mean. That's rude. But too emotionally, you don't know this person. This stranger, this hoodlum that your family's like, ugh. This street youth that you have a family feud with? Hell nah. What's wrong with you? Don't do that. Anywho. But I don't have like an issue with Shakespeare in particular. I just don't like the way that one's read by people. Because if it were taught more as like a cautionary tale and stuff like, love's the last, get out. You're done. Wrong. No. Love eternal. They both die. Because, no. Wrong.
What were we talking about? Okay. All right. So I was like, we had like walked around the store, and I was like, okay, and I come back to it, and I finally was like, you know what? I need these shoes. I need them in my soul. I need them. So I bought them, and I went home. And they're, like, completely new. Like, they have no marks on the bottom, no marks inside. Like, they're new. Like, someone bought them and then just, I guess, never wore them. And they were just like, I must get rid of them, right? So I have them. And then I get home, right? And I get home, and I have my closet. And I have 2 pairs of Vans that are green. Like, dark green, I mean, like evergreen. Very,
forest green.
Forest green, yeah. So I have 2 green Vans. And I have dark green running shoes. So I have now 4 pairs of green shoes. That's a lot of pairs of green shoes.
But it's fun, though.
I mean, they are, those Reeboks,
like, pretty.
No ad. No sponsor.
No sponsor.
Like, they are probably my most comfiest pair of shoes. Like, but they're not as, like, arch supported, but they're just comfy. Like, they're just, I'm like, wow, like, I don't even feel like I'm wearing shoes. Like, I feel like I'm wearing, like, slippers. Like, they're just comfy to wear. And I'm like, I appreciate it. So, but, like, the problem is I can't wear them to work because they're not, like, black shoes. But I want to wear them just for fun because I wore Converse today. Not to shit on Converse, but I wore Converse today because I have black Converse, right? And sure. Those are normally like my work shoes, but I wore them. The problem is, I don't know if you know this. Most people, I feel like I don't know how mass knowledge this is. Converse have no arch support. They have no arch support whatsoever. And
they're just flat.
And you know that, like, I'm on my feet all day, and they hurted my feet, and I felt like an old man, like a dad. When you sit down, you go to the dad, and you sit down, and then you I was like rubbing my feet like a man. I was like, who am I right now? This is unreal. I was like, what is happening with me right now? It's those shoes. But I don't want to get rid of them because they're not. But basically, my friend was like, "I think you have tism."
Because of the green?
Because of the green. And I was like,
I think you just like the color green.
I like
Damn.
Green.
Psychoanalyze my shoes.
I know. I was like, maybe. And I don't know. They're just, okay. I have never understood, like, I understand the shoe thing, and I don't. Because I'm like, okay, like, I want to wear them because they're beautiful, and I want to show them to other people.
You don't want to mess them up.
But then you're like, oh, I don't want to mess them up. But then I don't want to buy something that's intended for wear, and then never wear it, because I'm like, then that's just, I'm literally and figuratively stapling money to a wall and be like, guys, look at it. But I'm like, which that to me is my Reeboks, like, because they're so comfy, and they're so comfy, and they're still new, but I bought them as used. I'm like, I don't even want to put my, like, I didn't want to like, because there's, but anyway, I don't know, that's my, okay, so when going back to your, well, actually, girly. Sure. So that's not you in a, like, mean term. That's just in a, like...
Yeah, I don't do it in, like, a judgy, like, you're an idiot way, which is probably, I think, why... Like, I know that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I know about this stuff. Let's talk about a topic, Like, I know that about myself. But when someone says something, and I correct them, sometimes and it doesn't have to be these words exactly, but, like, oh, well, actually, I read blah, 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 or, well, actually, what I was taught was blah, 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 blah. And I get really excited because I'm like, oh, this is something I know about. Let's talk about this topic, and then let's do more research on it together and both learn more about it. And I think what they're hearing is me.
Like Charlie Brown's parents.
Yes. That is how I was described by a coworker. That was the description.
Oh, okay, like verbatim.
That was one of them, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well,
for a few.
Okay, this is, speaking of, like, people, I don't know, talking about us to us, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and she was like, so this girl that I went to high school with, so this friend did not go to my high school, but she knew this other girl. I think they had, like, worked together, and she looks at me as we're, like, I guess she had come up on my Instagram or something, or my friend had pulled her up, and we were talking about people, and she looks at me, like, she locks eyes with me, because we're not sitting far from each other, but she's, like, sitting on the bed, and, like, I'm sitting on a chair, and she looks at me, and she locks eyes with me, and do you want to know what she says? She goes, this girl that we're, like, that's on our phones right now, on Instagram, she goes, she told me she thought you were weird.
Oh!
What?
What?
Like, I'm not insulted, I just... What?
And I will say, to clarify, this coworker didn't say it in, like, a mean way. They were just basically, well, actually, me, I guess, where they're like, well, actually, this is what you do. And it was, like, we are both laughing, to be clear. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, I saw that. Like, it wasn't that vibe. I do want to be clear. Because now it's the running joke every time I go to work. And I go, well, actually...
Oh, like, it's this ever long running bit now? Like,
now it's
like,
a bit.
Oh, now it's a bit. I mean,
now it's a bit.
It was really weird, because I was, like, sitting there, and I was like, oh, I could have lived my whole life without knowing that. And now I know that. And now I'm gonna think about that. That's not, like, and, okay, here's my thing, is all I'm thinking about the entire time is I was like, I feel like she told me that, like, when it had just happened, too. So I was feeling this weird stage of, like, deja vu. I was like, I feel like we've had this conversation before. I mean, I don't take that as an insult.
Yeah. No, it's just, I used to say thank you when I was described. Like,
I also
you're weird, and I'd go, thank you.
I would also go, thank you. Because, like,
yeah,
what is the other, what am I supposed to say? You're weird, too? Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm rubber, you're glue. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say?
Yeah, like, I was like, and, she was like, I don't know, it was really weird, because she, goes to, like, somewhere, I like, out of the country for school, so she was, like, all of her stuff was that, and so she's like, oh, like, kudos, and I was like, yeah, and she had brought that up, and I was just, like, sitting there, and I was like, oh, okay, well, alright, I was like, I don't know what okay. I was like, I have not seen this person in, like, 6 years, give or take. So I'm sure,
like, man.
I'm like, well, I'm sure I was
Sounds really
weird
getting to me.
when I was, 15, 14? Isn't everyone weird when
Everyone's
you're 14?
weird in their, like, mid-teens. Like, fuck off.
Like,
fuck off.
Like,
what is 14? That's you're going. It's 8th grade going into 9th grade. Are you kidding me? It's weird Mageddon.
It is a little. Well, isn't that a whole? Aren't you, like, you're finding yourself, you're finding what you like, you're finding, all of these things about yourself. Like, isn't that just part of it? I don't know. I definitely was, like, a freshman in high school, for sure. I think. Yes.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's 14.
Yeah, it was
timeline by 14, 15.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I probably was. Like, all. What's interesting is, like, the new generation not being weird. Like, there's no awkward stage anymore. Bring the awkward stage.
I was talking about that the other day. Like, they just... Why did they... Okay, this is gonna sound weird. Why do they look like Disney Channel teens?
Ooh.
Like, in an annoying way.
No, I see it.
Like,
I see it.
They don't look like... they look like kids, but, like, it looks like the Disney Channel show, and I'm like, that's not what children look like. Where are your weird random Instagram posts where you're in a giant bow for some reason or something? I don't know. Or, like, you're all neon outfit. Like, what is this?
No, literally, where's your Spirit Day enthusiasm? Like,
crazy hair day or something. Like, what?
Like,
you didn't get a blow dryer and just blow your hair up, make it vanilla ice?
Not even. eyes. Here's my thing. Yeah, there's no awkward stage. There's no fun, I think. Like, they're just straight.
Where's the whimsy?
They're just straight to being adults. And I get that. Like, you're 14, you're supposed to be awkward, and you're supposed to have braces, and you're supposed to be like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh, they're...
They just...
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. I do think it's funny when they're like, man, everyone's making fun of these teens, these 13-year-olds that are going to Sephora, and then it's like, well, I was on Omegle at 13, so maybe these kids are doing something right. And I was like, you know what? That's fair. I never did Omegle.
On any social media, because I wasn't allowed to be on it till I was 18, and I'm a good listener. So I was doing homework at 13, and playing with my dog.
I had friends that were on like Omegle and that, and they would tell me about it. They would post about it. Do you remember the app called House Party? Or is that just like a not? Is that
I've
something?
heard about it, but again, I wasn't allowed to be on it because, But I did hear about it because people were like, "Oh my god, do you have it?" And I'd be like, "No."
Well,
I have an iPhone 3.
Well, it was really just
It doesn't download apps.
It was just like FaceTime, but like you could FaceTime people that had like not iPhones. So it's just like an app for that, and you could make like quote unquote houses. So you could have like, which is like
7 people on
FaceTime. Yeah, you could have like, I think they originally it was only like 4. They expanded it to 6. And then I think they expanded up to 8 at one point, but I think 8, everyone crashed. Like, even if you had the most current phone, it was like, okay, you cannot.
There was no helping you.
Our mobile phones, are not built. Yeah, I think, but I think most of the time it was like 4. But
the
then
app
you
could do it. Your phone just couldn't.
You could like. So it was like, you know how when you're on Snapchat, you'll have like, or I guess Instagram. Well, I use Instagram or like TikTok, and it'll have like. Whether you're on, like you're like, I am on this app. So it had
like the
that
green active dot.
Yeah. Like green is like you're live, yellow is like, I don't know, I guess you're kind of, and red is like you're not, whatever. Well, like it had that, so it was like, okay, so it could say like you could give people access, which I thought was I think cool. So you could put like let's just say like I'm on a call with you. And then you can put whether you want that to be like public, ergo you want people to join. And then if you said you wanted it to be public, so then other people that only that you were like friends with, and I think the other person was friends with, but maybe not. It could have been just like anyone that you were friends with, like on it.
Yeah.
And so like they could join your group FaceTime call, which is now unironically like a Zoom call, but
Ew.
Yeah. No, I
got ruined.
It was cool. Like, I remember it was cool when because I think it was mostly used in middle school. It wasn't really used in high school, because I think in high school that's when Snapchat started. Middle school? I guess more middle schools, but like, I think
middle school is when it started that I remember.
Yeah. So I think people kind of turned away and were just like, okay, we're just going to go back to, I don't know, whatever we were using. I think it's because they kept trying to like one it up. They're like, ooh, let's have 8 people on this phone call. And it was like, no, it's not meant for that. Stop. Yeah. So I remember using it in middle school, and that was like fun. Because then you could obviously it was just nice because then you could have people that didn't have iPhones. So it's like, oh, we can finally, like, I never get to see you. I mean, besides the 8 hours a day I spend with you at school.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know the last time I saw you.
I don't know the last time I saw you.
Oh, hey. Are you going to my next class?
We're locker buddies. So do you? Yeah. Remember that? What was the other one? Oh, Vine. Speaking of old apps. I miss it. Do you remember when Vine died and then Musical.ly was a thing? And then Musical.ly became TikTok? Do you think Gen Alpha kids know what Musical.ly is, or do you think they don't? I don't think they know. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
I don't know why they would know.
That's true.
There's not. I mean, gosh, I don't know.
You know, and I was looking through. I don't know what. I think I was just like scrolling YouTube the other day. The other day, I mean, probably like yesterday. and
Sure.
like a Vine compilation came up, and I had to take a double take. Like I hadn't read those two words together in years. I was like,
Man,
what?
like the ancient texts.
That our
This takes me
grandparents
back.
used to read. Yeah, I read it and I was like, oh, I wanted to play it. I don't think I did. I think I watched something else. But I was like, man, it was like, oh, because it said that one of those came out like 10 years ago. And I was like, I literally felt like I watched this as it was, because I remember watching them as they were being created. So then I remember like a year later when like the compilations became a big deal. And so I was like, oh my god, isn't this funny? Like 9 months ago, I saw them like being rated like every other day. So then I was like, oh, this is funny, like to have them all be like one giant video. But yeah, that was.
I made my brother watch Vine compilations because I wanted him to be cultured.
I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it was important. And then to this day, he'll send me Vine compilations on TikTok. I'm like, thank gosh.
Oh, they're still on there? They're still on there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I just, no, that's, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I miss it. I think it's just because, like, I think it just goes back to, like, that short form content that I feel like.
Yeah.
The 7 seconds.
Gives you the serotonin high in your brain.
It does. It doesn't. But there was no, like, you had no big editing. You had no, like, fucking social media editors and managers and all these people. You just had, like, you and your iPhone 5C ED and, like, a dream, and that was it. Do you remember when VidCon was, like, a really big deal?
Yes.
I remember
it was like, who was at VidCon?
I remember I always wanted to go. And I remember the one time I was like, I remember I was like, I really want to go, and I didn't go because it was in California, and obviously I don't live in California.
Yeah, we have discussed that before.
We have to,
and no one's parent. Well, that's not true. Parents, you're not going to VidCon. Please be serious.
You're not.
Like that's not your. The tickets to VidCon are not going to be in your stocking for Christmas. Like it's just not happening.
I remember. Yeah, like that was always a big deal. Or like you know how like for festivals. I mean, I guess you have that now for festivals. You're like, oh, who's gonna be at? So like that's almost now similar to like Coachella. I mean, I guess that was still a thing at the same time. But I was like, who's gonna be at VidCon? Because that's gonna be like, oh, like you want so and so to be there. But sometimes like I remember, what was it, like that was 2018 or something, 2017. Like someone big at the time was like, I'm not going, I'm boycotting, and that was like, ooh, that was a big deal.
Ooh.
I don't know who it was.
I do remember that too.
But everyone was like, oh my god.
I don't remember details, but it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was like
boycotting.
A big deal. Well, because it was like, I remember thinking about that so analytically, which I think just shows how much I wanted to do.
It was serious.
Before I like knew what to do, because I was like, man, like think about how much money you're losing. But then now when you have these like creators talk, they're like, because some of them were being like sponsored to go to VidCon. Like they're like, okay, like I'm with this company, or I'm with VidCon, like as a whole. And so they're like, oh, VidCon paid me to be here. And then you had some people that were like, no, I'm actually losing money going to VidCon. Because they're not making, like, they quote unquote were not making content because they were at the convention. Because it was like, what, like 3 days? Something like that?
I don't know.
Like, it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what I'm assuming.
Probably like a weekend conference.
Yeah, like
situation.
A weekend. Like, ooh, LA, downtown. Go see a bunch of 25-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people that
that dropped out of college. I'm just kidding. Well.
Great, now we pissed off the YouTubers.
Ah, shit.
Damn it.
Now we pissed off the
again.
YouTubers. Not again. No, I remember thinking about that even like as an 8-year-old, like very analytically, just very like, interesting. Because I remember, like, I mean, now they like brought it up. Like they're like, oh, I lost money actually when I went to like conventions because like if they weren't being sponsored or paid to go, versus some people were like, oh, I love going to them, or like to actually like see people, because then I feel like you could see people that actually wanted to go there to be with people. They were like, oh, I want to give back to the people that have like supported me and like see my fans, versus other people that were like, oh, I actually like didn't make any money and I actually didn't want to go and da da da. I mean, now you see that in all the podcasts because every single person has a podcast. I swear I had this idea a long time ago.
But alas.
I don't want to hear any of the, no, everyone has a podcast. Shut up. I don't want to hear
But listen.
Mind your business.
No podcasts bounce around topics like this. This is like the jack of all trades, master of none, but is better than one. Like,
yes, that is us.
Well, yeah, because what? Yeah, the saying, the full saying, not the one that people quote. Jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one.
I didn't know that was the full saying.
I mean, okay, I don't know how real this is. I'm going to be clear. I don't want to spread misinformation, but I saw it on social media. But it was the sayings that were shortened. So, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. Apparently is the full version of that.
Oh.
Blood of the covenant thicker than water of the womb. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back.
Interesting.
Great minds think alike, but only fools rarely differ. So, again, that was a social media thing, so could be wrong. Did not look into it. Reference at your own risk. I don't want to spread misinformation. But our podcast, all of that to say, in my mind, jack of all trades, master of none, is better than the master of one. That's us.
That is us. That is us
on this podcast,
right here, right now.
Right now.
No one bounces around like I does. I
like a bouncy ball. No one bounces around like I does.
Like a slinky. Like a slinky.
Like a slinky
that keeps going downstairs. Do you remember that ad on TV, or am I just making it up?
The walks downstairs. That one.
Yeah.
Slinky.
Slinky. Yeah. Okay, we're like a slinky because we're loud and obnoxious, and you might. And
I fall down the stairs a lot. It's perfect.
And you trip, and we're kind of shiny.
I trip
for some reason.
I've choked. I've fallen down the stairs and then choked.
What?
Back in middle school, I was running up the stairs chasing after somebody because it was middle school, and I had a gusher in my mouth, and I fell down the stairs and choked on it.
Well, obviously you lived to tell the tale.
It was fine. And then I looked at that person, and they looked back at me, choking. I spit out the gusher, and they laughed and ran away. It's like, I could have died!
No! Oh.
Bitch!
Well, I think that concludes this episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening. And, please chew your food and...
Don't choke. Would not recommend.
Whatever other important things to note about whatever else we said on this podcast, because I already forgot.
Yeah, that stuff.